Hello boys, girls, and a tickle in between. Today we're gonna be doing what if Deku was Deadpool. Okay, how are we gonna start this off? Yeah, I'm gonna start off like that. We start off with Deku. We start off with Deku in his room. He gets up to get a glass of milk. As he goes to the kitchen, he passes out. His mother comes screaming, Asuku! As we skip to the doctors, as they're saying, I'm surprised the kid's still alive. He has stage 5 cancer. As his mom said, how did we never notice this? Either he's been fighting, or either something else happened. As we see Deadpool, as I'm saying this, say, you really gonna give him shitty cancer? I say, how else am I supposed to do it? How else am I supposed to give him your abilities? You know, after that I'm beating you. I say, I would like to see you try. And then he say, hey, Macarita. I say, no! As we see Deku saying, is there any... we see Inko saying, is there any way to kill him? This is when she gets an envelope or something. A plain envelope. That's all I'm gonna say. An envelope. As she opens it, as it shows a camp to get rid of cancer. As she sent Azuko there. As he goes through 9 months of torture, being experimented on, getting stuff injected to him, until the final test happens. He get put in this weird pod as he loses air every hour until he gets his powers. No, I'm not making him look like Deadpool with his ugly self. This is when Deku found for some reason has something in his pocket. He lights it on fire somehow and throw it into the thing. As it explodes, he gets out and starts beating the guards down. As he kills one of them and then kills the other one, he says, this is going to be difficult. I see two pistols. Surprisingly, he's good with pistols. As he's just shooting everyone. As he's saying, ba, 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 ba. As he's making gun noises. Because remember, he's 5. As Deadpool comes down to help him, as I say, really, Deadpool? Really? You're going to ruin it like this? As he says, hey, I gotta care about what you're saying. As he starts slicing them with Deku. Deku just shooting them up. As Deadpool picks it up and starts twirling around with him while he's shooting people. And then he throws him to one of them and he shoots them in midair. As he says, I am the ultimate little one. As he jumps on one of them and beats the heck out of them. As she shoots one of them, as he sees 2 knives. As he grabs them and starts slicing them. As he kicks one of them away, and he backflips and hit one of them away. And yes, he was in karate and self-defense classes before this, just because he's quirkless and stuff. And one more thing, he did learn how to use a gun because of his grandfather liking to go to a archery place and stuff. So that's where he learned how to use guns. As he's shooting everybody else up, this is when we see the main man, Francis. As he dropped his guns and would put out his knives and say, I might be a little kid, but I'm deadly. As we see them fight, as Deku is stabbing the man in the kneecaps, as he says, "Catch shot!" As he punches him in the balls, he says, "Oh, ho, ho, ho." Why is always the balls? As he kicks him in the face and punches to the other side of the room and say, don't underestimate me. As he's trying to stop him, he gets out of the way. As he kicks him into a wall, as Francis had explosives there. And he's managed to somehow get away from Deku. As he explodes the place. As everything comes down, Deadpool and Izuku get caught in it. Me saying, oh my god, did he really get caught in that explosion? I'm surprised he got caught in that explosion. As we see him get out of it and say, I can't believe I'm still alive. As he realizes his power is regenerated and he can't die. As he gets out and he says, as he starts looking for Deadpool. As he finds Deadpool, Deadpool is gone. As he said, I am always with you, kid. So he had to drink something. As we see Deku 9 months later. Inko heard about the explosion and she thought Izuku was dead. She was crying for weeks. They got weeks. The people that were living there got weeks of flooding of tears. Yeah. They cry a lot. And she nearly got to the point of nearly committing suicide. If it wasn't for Miski from stopping her and keeping her sane and stuff, she would have committed suicide. As we skip to Deku taking out one of the many facilities that have his healing factor. As he said, how many of these are there left? I'm just a 5-year-old. As he's killing so many villains, is not funny. As he finds the pods and stuff where the people like him are being held, but they're monsters, okay? Think of them as nomus. They're like nomus. As he put bombs on them and say, I'm gonna survive this. As he explodes it, as he comes out of the womb and say, and he crack his neck and back in place as he say, ah! As he screamed to the top of his lungs because he just cracked his neck back in place. As he grabs his knife and pistols as he goes out. As we see Deadpool come down and say, kid, there's 15 more. 2 in the United States and others across the world. As he says, copy that. As we see Deadpool, aka Deku, going to sneak on a boat. As we hear, I am here. And Izuku get punched through multiple walls. As he said, oh! As we see almost coming with another punch. He gets out of the ring and accidentally hit All Might in his injured spot. As All Might go cough up a little blood, but Izuku didn't notice it. As All Might punches him through into the sky, they could say, I could use this to my advantage. As he comes down at All Might, as he twists and kicks All Might into a wall. As he jumped down and say, I am unstoppable. As he starts using his pistols and starts shooting at All Might. All Might was able to get out the way. This is when we see All Might punch him in his face. Izuku goes flying. When I tell you he go flying. He's go flying. He said, in his mind, and Deadpool said, at this moment, he knew. He blanked up as he goes flying across everywhere. As we see him land in a garbage place. Yeah, he's with garbage. As he takes a banana peel off of his head, say, yeah. as he grabbed his knives and started trying to sneak on the boat. This is when we see All Might dealing with other villains. He said, that's why he was here. He got a tip on people. As he jump on the boat, as he says, goodbye, Japan! As he says, I don't know what I'm gonna do for now. As we see him sailing away to the USA. As we skip to him getting to the USA, him killing everybody on the boat except for the captain that's getting him to the USA. As we see him say, you're gonna be tied up to this. You're gonna be tied up to the shed till we go somewhere else. As he gives him food and stuff to survive at least. And he puts a tracker on him and stuff to make sure he doesn't call anybody or have anybody try to assassinate him or stuff. As we see Deadpool, aka Zuko, go so drunk, had to drink something. As we see Azuku start, we see him go into a fighting club and start shooting people, but say, where the fuck is first of all, and second of all, where's the fucking second base? As he starts shooting places. He started shooting everything up, and I know he's 5, but he knows how to cuss because of Deadpool. As we see me scolding, aka giving Deadpool a hard time about teaching him how to cuss. As we see me just beating Deadpool down. As we skip back to Izuku shooting people up and slicing people. As he say, I am deadly! As he starts slicing people up some more. As he says, cock shot! As he hits somebody in the balls, the person goes onto his knees saying, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. As he gets kicked in the nose, as the person gets kicked in the nose and punched, and say, where's Francis? He says, I don't know. Okay, you might know what this is. Where is the second base? As he says, the location to the second base. As he gets ready to, as he takes down the second base, as we skip to Deku in the middle of a fight with some gang members, as he's saying, as he's trying not to die right now, as he's dodging every blow, as he slashes one of them and say, I am small but mighty. As he kicks one of them and say, it's time to dance for real. As he starts actually dancing. As we see him being unpredictable and dodging everything, pulling a Michael Jackson and stuff. Say, hee hee. As he's just dancing. If they're like, what the heck is this person doing? As they try to hit him, he just get out of the way by dancing. He's just slicing them, shooting them, and most definitely kicking them in the balls. He's small enough. As he kicked 2 people in the balls at the same time and do the splits and punch one in the balls, he Johnny Cage this stuff. As he gets up and flips out of the way of something about to hit him in the dome. As he kicks the person and say, hee hee. As he kicks the person across the room and he says, say goodbye to the space. Before he grabs the duffel bag and put all the guns and weapons and all the weapons he could find in there. And he explodes the base and say, okay, that was the biggest explosion yet. As we see white stuff come from the sky when it exploded. As Deku knows where it is and he starts running away from it. Okay, that's going to be the end of part 1. First of all, Wolfboy, if you actually get through this, finally! And second of all, if y'all want a part 2, comment below. And Wolfboy, if you want part 2, actually make it to the end first. And we talk about a part 2 when you if you want one.